Here we have the current stock market update for NIO Incorporated, stock ticker NIO. Before we begin, if you find these educational materials to be helpful in your trading, please remember to click the like and subscribe buttons and leave your thoughts below in the comments section so that other traders will be able to find this information more easily on the platform. So here we have the 1 hour price chart, and what we can see here is that share prices are now rocketing higher. This is a very significant price move for many reasons, and in this video we will be identifying some very important support and resistance zones, some very important price levels, so that shareholders can develop some profitable trading strategies for this stock going forward. So currently what we have here is the hourly time frame. So this is not a short-term time frame. And what we can see here is that share prices have really managed to break higher in a forceful direction and in a forceful manner. So currently what we're seeing here is a share price high that comes in at $4.29. So in some sense, this might not seem significant. However, I don't really agree with that assertion, because what we're seeing more broadly in the market, and definitely within the technology space, is a huge wave of selling pressure that is influencing some very important stocks in the market. Nvidia would be one name that's incredibly important. Super microcomputer would be a name that's incredibly important. So there's a lot to be said here about the fact that NIO has managed to move higher even in the face of all of this downside selling pressure throughout the market. So essentially what we're looking at here is a price movement that looks like this. And it's very significant from the longer term perspective for many different reasons. One comes from the fact that we have now managed to further validate the support zone, which comes in right around $3.63. Currently, we're seeing share prices that have posted lows of $3.72 more recently. So what this tells us is that share prices did not even test the full lows before managing to rocket higher. And this is significant because we have now broken through prior resistance zones, not only at 415, but at $4.20 as well. As we can see in prior trading sessions, this $4.20 level was a huge level of resistance. As we can see here, there is a very long, strong, bearish candle coming in right at this level. So just as share prices are testing this $4.20 mark, we start to see share prices find support zones quite quickly. This is an area that we have pointed to previously, coming in at $3.97. As we can see here, the support level was already drawn. This is a level that we were expecting to see support emerge. And as we can see, these moves to the top side have been quite forceful in nature. So there was a very strong bounce here, not only from this support zone, but also away from a prior resistance zone. And then in addition to that, what we see here is a gapping price movement higher, where share prices break forcefully above the entire exponential moving average cluster and several layers of historical resistance. So overall, this is a very significant price move higher. And what has occurred here is that share prices have now found very strong support zones just below the $4 mark, so roughly $3.93. So this is a very strong level of support here going forward. And what this really tells us is that support zones are starting to move higher as trading progresses. We can't take anything away from the fact that there has been a major sell-off in the market today. Very important companies are seeing huge waves of selling pressure, but the trading volumes themselves for NIO Incorporated have now started to post in positive territory. Previously, it can be said, yes, that we were seeing some downside trading volumes that were starting to develop, but more recently, all of these trading volume bars are green. And what this tells us is that this price movement in the positive direction has been confirmed by the trading volume itself. So next, we will take a look at the indicator reading here and look for some additional signals that should be watched for this stock chart. So in prior videos, what we have noted here is the fact that upward trend momentum appeared to have broken its bullish momentum. However, as we can see, this has turned out to be a false breakout to the downside. This was a very minimal price movement, and as we can see here, share prices did manage to rocket higher after moving into oversold territory. Currently, what we're dealing with is a bit of overbought territory, however. So this does suggest that there could be some retracement here near term, given the fact that the RSI reading, this purple line at the bottom of the price chart, has now moved into overbought territory above the 70 level. So to some extent, we do have to expect a bit of downside here, possibly a little bit of a pullback at the moment. But generally, that's a healthy development because overall it does tend to support a stock's outlook and its ability to start forcing prices to move higher. So, as things currently stand, what we're looking at next would be a test of this $4.60 resistance. This is the price high that was developed during the July 31st trading session. And then from there, we really are looking at then a test above. Of at least the $5 mark. And if we can break above there, that would be a critical key psychological resistance zone that could signal a long term bottom for this stock. Anybody that's been watching my videos on this stock knows that this is the main question here. Are we starting to see a base form or not? Are we going to see this $3.63 support zone break near term? As some people have suggested, are we going to see share prices move to the $1 mark? I'd like to know what people think about this. Do we actually believe that a base has formed here? Is there any significance to the fact that NIO share prices were able to move higher on a day where NVIDIA stock was absolutely being crushed? I do suggest that people take a look at that video because I did cover the NVIDIA analysis today. So there were major price movements lower there based on fundamental events, and none of this seems to be influencing NIO price shares in the negative direction. So is this a significant development? Do we actually believe that share prices have reached a bottom, or is this sort of an anomaly, an exception to the rule, and are we ready to turn lower and start to break through this $3.63 support zone that we have been watching now for this stock for quite a while? Finally, we'll just take a quick look at a bit of a longer term perspective here. Here we have the 4-hour price chart. And as we can see here, this movement into the $5 area would be quite significant for a few different reasons. Specifically, what this would mean is that we would then be looking at a retest of these prior price highs, which formed during the June 2024 trading period, which would have come in right around the $5.62 mark. The reason that I say that this area is in particular is quite important comes from the fact that this is an area of historical resistance. But then in addition to that, we also have this 200 period exponential moving average that did manage to contain prices right in that area. So as we can see here, it was a very critical level of resistance. But now that this moving average has started to decline, it will be much easier for share prices to overcome this level going forward. So essentially, this would start to break if we did see this near-term resistance level at $4.61 start to break. So in other words, we would start to see a much more forceful price movement in the upward direction, more than likely overcome the $5 mark if we were to see share prices break above this near-term resistance zone coming in at $4.61. From there, there's really not much resistance to be found until we come into this $5.60 mark, and then from there it would require essentially a retest of the $6 figure, the $6 psychological handle. Here's the current stock market update for NIO Incorporated, stock ticker NIO. Our high value trading strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.